Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the best techniques and methods to help you learn things faster. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who loves to learn, these tips will help you maximize your learning potential. We've all been there, staring at a wall of text or struggling to grasp a new concept. It can be frustrating, right? But what if I told you that learning doesn't have to be a struggle? By incorporating some simple yet powerful techniques, you can unlock your brain's learning superpower and accelerate your journey to knowledge mastery. Over the next few minutes, we'll be exploring 5 game-changing learning techniques that have personally helped me and countless others absorb information like a sponge. So grab your notebooks, get ready to take some notes, and let's dive in. Let's kick things off with active learning. It's a dynamic approach that transforms the way we absorb and retain information. Now, you might be thinking, isn't all learning active? It's a common misconception? Well, not really. You see, passively reading a textbook or watching a lecture without truly engaging with the material is like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. The effort is there, but the results are fleeting. The information might seem to go in, but it's leaking out just as quickly. This can be incredibly frustrating and demotivating. Active learning, on the other hand, is about actively participating in the learning process. It's about being involved and taking initiative. It's about getting your hands dirty, asking questions, and putting what you're learning into practice. This hands-on approach makes a significant difference. Imagine yourself not as a passive recipient of information, but as an explorer, a detective, a builder of knowledge. You're on a quest for understanding. Think about it. When you're actively engaged, your brain is more alert, more receptive, and more likely to retain information. This heightened state of awareness is key to effective learning. It's like the difference between passively watching a football match and actually playing on the field. The level of engagement is worlds apart. When you're playing, you're fully immersed, your adrenaline's pumping, and you're forming memories that will last. This immersion is what makes the experience unforgettable. So how can you incorporate active learning into your own life? Well, there are tons of ways. The possibilities are endless. When reading, try summarizing each chapter in your own words or highlighting key concepts. This helps reinforce what you've learned. If you're watching a lecture, pause it periodically to reflect on what you've learned and jot down any questions that pop into your head. This reflection is crucial for deeper understanding. Remember, learning is not a spectator sport. It's an active, participatory process. It's about actively engaging with the material, wrestling with ideas, and making connections. This struggle is part of the learning journey. So ditch the passive learning habits and embrace the power of active engagement. Transform your learning experience. Your brain will thank you for it. You'll not only remember more, but also enjoy the process of learning. Now let's move on to a technique that's close to my heart, the Feynman technique. Named after the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman, this method is incredibly simple, yet incredibly effective. The basic premise is this: if you want to truly understand something, try teaching it to someone else. I know, it might sound a bit counterintuitive. You might be thinking, but I'm still learning myself. How can I possibly teach someone else? And that's the beauty of it. The act of teaching, even if it's just to an imaginary audience, forces you to organize your thoughts, simplify complex ideas, and identify any gaps in your own understanding. Think about it. When you have to explain something to someone else, you can't just regurgitate information. You have to break it down into digestible chunks, use clear and concise language, and anticipate potential questions. It's like turning yourself into a master explainer, and in the process, you solidify your own grasp of the subject matter. So, how do you actually use the Feynman technique? It's easy. First, choose a concept you're trying to learn. Then, imagine you're explaining it to someone with little to no prior knowledge. Write down your explanation as if you were talking directly to them. As you're explaining, pay attention to any areas where you stumble or get stuck. These are the areas where your understanding might be a bit shaky. Go back to your source material, do some additional research, and fill in those gaps. The Feynman technique is a powerful tool for learning because it forces you to confront your own understanding and identify areas for improvement. It's like having a personal tutor built into your learning process. By teaching, you not only help others, but also reinforce your own knowledge, making it a win-win situation for everyone involved. Chapter 3. Pomodoro Power: Conquer Procrastination with Focused Bursts. Let's be honest, we've all been there. You sit down with the best intentions to power through a study session, but then distractions hit. You check your phone, scroll through social media, or suddenly remember that very important task of rearranging your sock drawer. Procrastination is a real struggle, but thankfully, there's a technique that can help: the Pomodoro technique. This technique is all about working with your natural attention cycles, not against them. Instead of trying to force yourself to focus for hours on end, which, let's face it, rarely works, the Pomodoro technique breaks your study time into manageable chunks. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 25 minutes and dedicate yourself entirely to the task at hand. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure, focused work. Once the timer goes off, take a short 5-minute break. This is your time to recharge, grab a drink, or do a quick stretch. After 4 Pomodoros, reward yourself with a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. The beauty of the Pomodoro technique lies in its simplicity. By breaking down daunting tasks into smaller, more manageable intervals, you trick your brain into staying engaged. The short breaks act as mini rewards, keeping you motivated and preventing burnout. Think of it like interval training for your brain. You alternate between periods of intense focus and short recovery periods, which ultimately builds your mental stamina and improves your ability to concentrate over time. Chapter 4: Spaced Repetition. Outsmart Forgetting. Now let's talk about a technique that leverages the power of forgetting to enhance your learning: spaced repetition. You see, our brains are actually designed to forget. It's a natural process that helps us filter out irrelevant information and make room for new memories. But here's the thing. We can strategically outsmart forgetting by using spaced repetition. This technique is based on the principle that we're more likely to remember information if we review it at increasing intervals. Think about it. When you first learn something new, it's fresh in your mind. But as time passes, that memory starts to fade. However, if you revisit that information just before you're about to forget it, you strengthen the neural connections and make it more likely to stick. So, how do you implement spaced repetition? Well, there are various methods and even apps designed specifically for this technique. But the basic idea is to review material at increasing intervals. For example, you might review something new after a few minutes, then again after a few hours, then a day, then a few days, and so on. The key is to space out your reviews in a way that feels challenging, but not impossible. You want to be actively recalling the information, not just passively rereading it. This active recall process is what strengthens the memory and makes it more resistant to forgetting. Chapter 5: Growth Mindset. Unlock your learning potential. Finally, let's talk about a concept that underpins all successful learning: growth mindset. This powerful idea can change the way you perceive your abilities and your potential. This isn't so much a technique as it is a mindset shift, a fundamental belief that can transform your approach to learning. It's about changing the way you think about your own intelligence and capabilities. You see, there are generally 2 mindsets when it comes to learning: fixed and growth. These mindsets shape how we interpret our experiences and how we respond to challenges. A fixed mindset believes that intelligence and abilities are innate and unchangeable. This belief can limit your potential and hinder your progress. You're either born smart or you're not. This kind of thinking can lead to a fear of failure and a reluctance to take on new challenges. A growth mindset, on the other hand, embraces the idea that intelligence and abilities are malleable and can be developed through effort, persistence, and learning from mistakes. This mindset encourages resilience and a love for learning. Imagine these mindsets in action. They can dramatically influence how you approach your studies and your overall attitude towards learning. A student with a fixed mindset might shy away from challenges, fearing failure, and believing it reflects their inherent lack of ability. This can create a cycle of avoidance and stagnation. A student with a growth mindset, however, sees challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. They understand that effort and perseverance are key to improvement. They embrace setbacks as stepping stones on the path to mastery. Each mistake is viewed as a valuable lesson rather than a failure. Cultivating a growth mindset is crucial for unlocking your learning potential. It opens up a world of possibilities and helps you to see your true potential. It's about shifting your perspective from "I can't do this" to "I can't do this yet." This small change in wording can have a big impact on your motivation and confidence. It's about embracing the journey of learning, with all its ups and downs, and recognizing that every experience, whether it's a success or a setback, is an opportunity for growth. This journey is what makes learning so rewarding. So, how do you cultivate a growth mindset? It requires conscious effort and practice, but the rewards are immense. It starts with becoming aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, especially when you're faced with a challenge. Challenge those limiting beliefs that tell you you're not good enough or that you've reached your limit. Replace them with empowering thoughts that encourage growth and learning. Embrace challenges, seek out feedback, and view mistakes as valuable learning opportunities. By doing so, you'll be well on your way to unlocking your full learning potential. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on productivity and learning. Let us know in the comments which technique you're excited to try out. Until next time, keep learning and growing. Remember, learning is a lifelong journey, and by incorporating these techniques and cultivating a growth mindset, you can unlock your full learning potential and achieve amazing things. So go out there, embrace the world of knowledge, and never stop learning.